Welcome back, everyone, to the HNL Movement podcast. A very exciting episode today, and we have a very good guest, Brittany fan, to join us for the podcast. And this is something that I really want to talk about because I like to golf. So we're going to hear a lot of things that she's been through and her journey. But thank you so much for joining me, Brittany.
No problem. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to start talking.
Yes. Yeah. And thank you so much out of your busy schedule to come down. And you are traveling all over the place. So I'm glad that we got to coordinate this time.
I know, finally.
Yes.
After rescheduling a couple times, right?
Yes, but it's good. We're here now.
Yes.
So let's just start off with your story. So from childhood, what kinds of sports and activities that you like to do, and how did you find golf? Let's start there.
Yeah. So, I started golf at the age of 12, but before that, I was, completely opposite. I was doing singing, dancing. I wanted to go try it for Disney Channel. That's kind of the track that I was heading towards. And cool fact on the side, Bruno Mars's uncle was my vocal instructor.
Wow.
They look the same. They sing pretty similar. So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
This is before he kind of got famous and blew up. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that's what happened. And then so basically I went with my dad to go pick up my brother from practice. Okay. And I was just fooling around on the driving range, just swinging a club. And his coach walks over one day and he gives me a couple pointers. And all of a sudden, I start hitting a couple more balls and it's like, whoa, not only am I just, dinking the ball, now I'm like smashing it all the way down there and hitting it so solid. So I kind of was like, wow, that was pretty cool. And if you've ever seen, like a child's eyes light up, mm-hmm. that's kind of what happened. Yeah. So I kind of got hooked from there. And, as time went on, I would go and pick up my brother from practice a little more often. And then eventually I did go into his golf school because he ran a golf school and kind of got serious at the age of 12.
Got it. So is your family a big golfing family?
Yes. So my brother golfs, my parents golf, but my brother started, at the normal age, they start between like 6 to 8 years old. So he was already at that time starting to golf competitively and really getting into it. And I would kind of just, tag along and be like, can I drive the cart or
Got it.
Just go and hang out, but never really swung much or took anything serious or.
Did you ever golf on a course before then? Like for fun?
I think I did. I can't quite remember because I really only remember getting into it at 12.
Got it.
If anything, it was more just sitting on the cart and riding.
Got it. Okay, let's touch on this too. So you mentioned that you were doing like sing and dance, right?
Yes.
So when did you start doing dance, like dance classes or formal lessons?
It was only a couple years before I started golf, maybe like 9, 10, around that age.
Got it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit because actually dancers, they're probably the most aware of movement, or they do the most like different types of movement and learn how to move and be mobile and be strong at the same time. So thinking back, I know this is a while ago, but thinking back those 2-3 years of doing dance, do you think that helped you to actually take instructions for golf a little better?
I don't think it hurt.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest here and say, so I did hip hop and jazz.
Okay.
I don't think I was the best in terms of like coordinating the movement. I mean, it took me a little bit more effort, I think, compared to other people to kind of just get everything going in sync. Mm-hmm. But the end result was the same. It just took a little bit more. Yeah. But I think for sure, it definitely probably helped a little bit.
Okay, that's interesting to hear too. So you transitioned
I've never had it easy.
Yes, you transitioned into this. Now you're getting into golf.
Right.
Were you doing any other sports at the time?
No, that's
just
pretty
golf.
much it. Yeah, I mean, I like to run at school for, PE class, but I don't think that really counts.
Got it. So let's talk about, you went to Kamehameha, right? You're a Kamehameha graduate. When did you go to Kamehameha? From elementary school or did you go later?
No, so I applied to get in 7th grade.
Okay.
And then got in and went from there.
So this is all kind of happening at the same time. So
right.
7th grade, probably that's around the same time that you started taking up golf.
Yep,
and
7th, 8th grade.
Walk me through that. So now you started to take lessons, right? And what was that process like as a beginner?
So, golf is one of those sports where when you watch it, it looks easy.
Yeah.
Until you actually try it, right? You're thinking, oh, the ball is sitting on the ground, it's stationary, it's not moving. And how hard can it be to hit the club and hit the ball and get it next to that target? It's pretty difficult. And I think you have to have patience and you kind of go through the stages. frustration and anger, and then you kind of go through the calm parts of it. But I mean, I enjoyed every process of it because I was more focused not on how much work I had left to do, but kind of just getting better every day. Uh-huh. And so it was kind of like a healthy obsession, yes, you could say. Yes. So I mean, I kind of just focused on, listening to the tips and advice from my coaches. This is what you need to work on. And I would just work so hard every day. And, eventually you just get better and better. And yes. Yeah.
Is there intermediate golf in ILH?
Yes.
There is.
So okay. I did start out with that.
Okay.
So I started out with high school golf, and then there was also an HSJGA organization, which is Hawaii State Golf. Mm-hmm. So they would have a lot of tournaments on Oahu and the other islands. Got it. So that's how I started. And then as I got better and a little closer, into high school and college, in order to get exposure to get into college and get the scholarships and all that kind of stuff, you need to travel outside of Hawaii. And so from, after that, that's when I started playing some bigger events out of the States.
So that must have been exciting because you get to golf in all of these different environments, all of these different courses.
Not it's a challenge too, Yes. You have to calculate the altitude and the weather and all that was quite a bit of a change. I mean, you're born and raised here and it's perfect weather all the time. The only thing you really get is maybe some rain and wind. But, after traveling, you got to adjust to what about the dryness in Arizona, or what about when it's freezing in Colorado, or what about, just a bunch of different things like that. Yes. So, I mean, it just makes you stronger. Yes. And a little more knowledgeable.
I really like your approach to golf, how you're just focusing on getting better every day. Because, like you said, I mean, there's so much that we're going to talk about with strength and conditioning and all of this. It's really, I mean, you just need to get better at doing certain swings, certain situations, no matter what you're doing, right? Because, like, for example, there's only so many ways that you can hit your driver. Right. But it's like, how can you be consistent with that? Yes. How can you actually practice to get the fine details, tune up your swing, be consistent, and actually perform when all the pressure's on you, right? The same thing is with all other sports and just strength and conditioning. It's like you're doing the same relative task, but it's like, how do I get better at this? Even at basic movements.